well, that's Garland for you.
Well, that's Garland for you.
That's Garland for you.
Well, what can I say? That's Garland for you.
So yeah. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Hit or Miss Hallmark Movie Reviews. I'm Daniela.
And I'm John. Don't forget to like and share if you're enjoying the content. And if you're new here, please subscribe and
Click the little bell to receive notifications every time we upload a new video. Movie number 4 for Countdown to Christmas. Full steam ahead.
choo-choo.
Yes. So today we are reviewing A Cozy Christmas Inn. In our short, we predicted that this was going to be a hit. Well, I did.
I did not.
You changed your mind.
I didn't actually change my mind. I wasn't a big fan of Christmas Under Wraps, so I thought that even if this movie was as good, it wouldn't be great in my mind. So it didn't have a lot to live up to for me. It just...
See, it was like the opposite for me. In my prediction short, I said, you know, huge shoes to fill, expectations are quite high, it's gonna be tough, but I wanted to keep the faith and I wanted it to be a hit. So let's see if we were right. But
Well, let's see who's right.
let's see who's right. But first,
What's this one about?
the holidays are quickly approaching, and real estate tycoon Sharon Ferris, played by Vivica A. Fox, knows what she wants for Christmas: a picturesque small bed and breakfast in the cute Christmas-centric town of Garland, Alaska. Determined to get her hands on the property at any cost, she sends one of her junior execs, Erica, played by Jodi Sweetin, to convince the owner to sell. Much to Erica's surprise, the owner turns out to be Andy Holliday, played by David O'Donnell, her ex-boyfriend from college back in Seattle. As Erica spends time in the town trying to convince Andy and his father Frank, played by Brian Doyle Murray, to sell the property to Sharon, the city girl finds herself falling in love with both the charm of Garland and her ex-boyfriend.
The slutty elf.
He is, oh my God.
I mean, they're kind of setting him up to be.
Yeah.
I almost expect them to do a third installment in Garland with like the Olsen twins or something.
Oh my God, that's all that's left. What do we think about this?
Okay, I didn't hate it at all. I didn't dislike it as much as I thought I was going to, but it was definitely a thrown together movie that they tried to fix after Candace leaving, and I feel bad for Jodi Sweetin because she got tossed into like a cluster bimp of a movie, and I thought she did a great job with what she did.
Considering the circumstances. Okay, so, you know, I was very intrigued by this one since finding out it was related to Christmas Under Wraps, because I loved Christmas Under Wraps. It is in my top 10 favorite Christmas movies of all time. It is the quintessential cozy Christmas movie for me. So,
Well, I've watched it with you a bunch, and it's like,
I love
it is.
it. I
It's a
love
movie
that
we can
one.
put on every year, but even in that breath, I don't see this one being something you couldn't watch again.
I could easily watch this again. It's a very easy watch. And yes, I didn't hate it as much as like other people online were saying how much they hated it and were saying how bad it was.
Yeah, I think people are just, it's the same thing. Even though it wasn't technically a sequel, people are comparing it to the old one, and that's just never
You
gonna
can't
fly.
help but compare it, unfortunately.
Especially
It's
when
just
they throw you like 5 or 6, that's Garland for you. Like,
It was kind of like, okay, we get it. You know, you're trying really hard to kind of throw back to the original one, and I felt that.
I feel like if they placed like even just one, I
Maybe
mean,
it
if
would
it's
have
the
been
same
more
characters,
effective.
yeah, I don't know. It definitely didn't grab me the same way Christmas Under Wraps did, but in a lot of ways, even though the writing wasn't as good, the performances were actually fairly good.
What I liked about Christmas Under Wraps is that it had like magic and this secret we had to uncover, and the townspeople were mysterious yet welcoming and gracious. And this one didn't have any of that. It had the same townspeople, but all the magic and mystery was kind of gone.
But this one had
Right?
this one had the answer to the family. They finally nailed it
But
down
still-
and made Frank Holiday Santa Claus. They literally showed him
the end.
in the sleigh fly across the moon.
At the end.
I mean, and you know,
Yes.
until then, it was almost like it was either Santa Claus or a crime boss. It's like,
I know, he kept sitting at the desk there, always on the phone, and people like coming to his kind of like beck and call, like, oh, we need to go, we have to do something, you know, like.
well, this was definitely shot in in 2 different camps, and those 2 people, Frank Holiday and his daughter, whoever.
Joy?
Yeah.
No, that's Cousin Joy.
Oh, Cousin Joy, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, like those 2 were not with the other actors at all. Brian Doyle Murray was never out of that room until he flew across the moon.
Yeah. So the magic wasn't there for me, and that's huge. That's what this whole movie is about. I didn't hate it. It was okay. It didn't meet my expectations. The expectations were super high, and maybe I should have kept it a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, it's a little
That's big
hard
shoes to fill for me.
Of course, it's a little hard to do when you've already put your heart into something, or it's already like special to you.
I mean, I feel also that I think you kind of like hit on this a bit, but the story seemed a bit disjointed. It was kind of all over the place. There was this boss. It was like past relationship in Seattle. The mystery in Garland. Like the secret of the town, his previous relationship to Lauren, Dr. Lauren, which was like part 1, so they have to kind of harken back to that. I was just kind of like, too many things
it
going
went
on
all
here.
over the place, but in my eyes, they could have fixed it with just less Sharon. Oh my God, she was the worst.
Oh, you didn't like Sharon, I know.
No.
She was a bit try-hard, she was a bit over the top, just in her attitude.
I was gonna save it
her
until Nit
demeanor.
Picky. No, but not even her, like the actress. It was just like that character.
The character, yeah. Vivica A. Fox plays her well.
Yeah,
It's
sure,
just
but
I
they
don't
had
like
her
the character.
play. It just didn't make any sense. It's like, why does this person? No.
If I didn't see Christmas Under Wraps, or if Christmas Under Wraps Part 1 didn't exist, this one probably would have been just fine, and I probably would have liked it a lot more.
Yeah, I still don't think it would have bought a hit for me.
I mean, maybe not a hard hit. I know you don't like when I do that, but like, it could have been a soft hit. But you can't help but always compare it to Part 1.
Of course,
right?
Of course, and you know what? Maybe it's my bias of not really being a Candace Cameron fan, but you know, we never reviewed Christmas Under Wraps. We did a ranking.
Best of Candace Cameron.
It fell pretty low on my ranking of.
It did, yeah.
Candace Cameron
and it was
ones.
high.
And I think if we actually
1.
reviewed it, I don't think I would give it a hit. So it's like I think I'm doing it justice. I think both the movies sit in the same realm, but yeah, this one definitely wasn't as homey and special.
No, and it wasn't, as I said, magical, and that's the biggest disappointment for me.
You know, whenever it harkened back to Christmas Under Wraps, it would kind of ruin it. Whatever they had going, like
I
their
was
chemistry.
reminded, oh yeah, this was actually a really good movie back in 2014 when it came out. Like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like for me, that's what I kept thinking. I'm like, it's just a hard one to replicate. It should have just been a standalone movie.
Yeah, no doubt.
But you know what? Like, a part of me was intrigued. Like, oh, interesting that they're going back to Garland. Like, I initially liked the idea of that.
But yeah, I do too, but I don't, you know, they didn't really tie up the Candace thing very well. Like, she went back to San Francisco, they said
for a
in the
fellowship,
movie?
yeah. She had a fellowship that she just couldn't pass up, so she left. Which makes sense. That character, I see, probably would be doing something like that. I could see that.
Yeah, sure. And, you know, if it's a kick to Candace to kind of make her seem like a
That's what I read online, actually.
Then actually it makes sense.
I read
like,
that on a blog online that maybe it was just a kind of a dig to Candace. Like, oh yeah, well, we can still continue this story, like, without you.
And we're gonna toss your little sister at him.
Oh my God, it's kind of strange.
You did call this Seattle thing, though.
Yeah, I knew it was, they dated when he was in Seattle, and she's obviously from Seattle, Erica. So
And that made
I knew
sense,
that.
and like he left her, and it was kind of
Like on paper, it made sense and it seemed interesting.
If they left like all of the fan fodder out of it, then it possibly could have been a good standalone movie.
You know what might have been interesting is if they did revisit Garland, but the two main characters were different. And then maybe when they got to Garland, or whoever was gonna go to Garland, kind of like how they do, what's that one with the red truck?
Evergreen.
Christmas in Evergreen.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the townspeople are all the same, but the main characters are always switching.
They could do that.
You know, like a Christmas in Evergreen thing.
I mean, I'm
Maybe.
calling it right now. Olsen twins. They'll be in the next one.
Well, I don't know about that, but do you know what I mean? Like maybe we follow the main storyline of two other people in Garland, and then we see Andy kind of like popping up somewhere, and maybe he's still with Lauren, but she's like busy, or
Yeah,
you know.
I do like the way they do it with Evergreen, so I think that would work.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm just going off the top of my head here, so it's not fully formed, but you know what I mean? Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, why don't we get to performances?
Sure. I think Jodi Sweetin was awesome in this movie. I think she's very good. In my eyes, she emotes better than Candace Cameron. I like that she's comedic and quick, and most of her lines are pretty good. Like, she delivers very well. Candace Cameron she always falls into this, like, every once in a while, she's like, what?
Oh my God.
Like, instead of a line, it's just like,
you know, while I do agree that Candace kind of has one note to her acting, there are not many facets, she's not very well-rounded as like an actress, it's kind of always the same thing. I can't help but feel like there's just more of an appeal for Candace. She's sweeter, she's cuter, she's more lovable. Like Jodi Sweetin is a good actress, but I'm not buying her in Hallmark movies. There's like something there that I don't buy. I don't know what, I can't
That's
put my
odd
finger on
because
it.
she's put in the same character mold as Bethany Joy Lenz. Kind of rough around the edges
Oh
and
God.
like.
I mean, you cannot compare those two.
Well, no,
Bethany
but
Joy
that's-
Lenz's acting
Okay,
is
don't
like
get on that. It doesn't matter.
above.
It has nothing to do
So
with it.
much
I'm
above.
saying like that is the category you put them in. So they're,
I wouldn't put them in the same category.
You're not thinking properly. It's
you
not
mean?
the same category. Like they're equal. It's just like she's
Like the
the
same
rough
amount
around
of
the
movies?
edge tomboy. Like that's the character. She's not
Yeah.
the pretty girl. She's not the doughy-eyed ditz.
No,
She's
no,
not
I get that. I get
Spacey
that.
Candace Cameron.
I just feel like there's just more of an appeal with Candace if we're comparing her. I mean, that's just how I feel. I do think she's a great actress, though. And maybe I just want to see her doing something different.
Well, just not a Candace movie.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this was just destined to
I mean,
fail. Whoever was in that role,
I
because I'm
think-
always going to compare it to Candace.
Yeah, but that's also this was just a badly written movie.
Same writer. as
Exactly. The
Susan
first one
Rath.
was not well written. It's very cheesy, and it's like so. Technically, Jodi Sweetin's acting and her ability is past this movie. Trying to go back to 2014 and act like Candace Cameron.
I just think the circumstances surrounding this are set up to kind of fail. Whoever's in that role. It's really, especially, it's hard because it's already, the character's already established, the story's already established. We're having a sequel like many, many years after. I like that they kept Garland alive, but maybe a different story, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Christmas and Evergreen
David
approach, I
O'Donnell
think.
was good too. and
He
they
was
seemed-
great.
They seemed
He was
good
great.
together when they weren't like talking about the jeans like 3 times in a row and then the sweater thing, and it was just like all these awkward like throwback.
I really like David, but I did feel like, again, like the magic in his character was not here. He was more preoccupied about the inn and the financial issues and bankruptcy, and I guess that's more real life stuff. I get that.
8 years ago, he put it all on the line for some doctor that just left him. So,
yes.
So F that B, CCB.
Oh my God. I get it.
Maybe
I
they made
just-
this movie bad on purpose just to like.
I wanted a bit more magic. I wanted a bit more magic. I keep saying that. I said that in the last video too.
I mean, yeah, more magic could have.
More magic.
But it was
If you're
still
gonna
there.
be a magic, if you're talking about Santa Claus being a real person and owning a company and having a family and your son is an elf and like all this stuff, it better be like magic overload. And it wasn't.
Well, there's still time.
So why don't we get a little bit nitpicky here?
Yeah, the sweater reveal when she first
is
showed
so
up in the
small,
inn,
but-
like I don't know, that was so awkward. I
It
was
was
like, oh,
weird.
this is not a good setup.
When she first shows up, she's about to see him for the first time. He comes out with his sweater over his head and his arms are kind of over here. And at first I was like, is there something on his hands, like candy or something, so he doesn't want to like touch his sweater? Like, why couldn't he fix the sweater himself? He had to ask a stranger outside in his inn.
It was beyond awkward, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I thought that was
it's
weird.
also the setting because like that inn had like the lobby was so huge. It was all glass like doors.
It was very
like,
modern.
Yeah, it was very modern. You could see
It should have
everything.
been cozy. It should have been very
It definitely was not cozy. The rooms might have been cozy, but like the appeal of the place was like very cold.
It was very Christmassy. It was Christmassy. There was also a really great nitpicky thing. One of the best ugly Christmas sweaters we've ever seen.
Oh, yeah,
Hattie
the-
was wearing
Hattie,
it.
yeah, that
I
was good.
need that. We'll show a clip of that. But like that, I need that ugly Christmas sweater in my life. It was amazing. Sharon.
She gets it twice. What was her name? Sharon Fox? Sharon Ferris. Sharon Ferris.
Yeah.
She ruined any hope of the movie being okay in my eyes. Like
Yeah, I didn't-
every time I was like, oh, okay, I'm kind of digging it, and then it was like, it was just too much. They used her so much, and there was so much pressure on Jodi's movie for no reason. It was like,
I hope it's my Christmas gift.
it's like literally,
you know what
it's
I
literally
mean?
Christmas Eve, and you're being a psycho trying to buy a friggin' place in Alaska.
You know, I know she had wanted something for the winter vacation crowd because they had recently bought a hotel or something for the summer crowd.
try
Somewhere
Aspen.
tropical. Yeah, I know, Alaska. like Garland, Alaska.
Or Colorado, like.
Garland. Of all the places in Alaska, you're going to Garland, the most obscure, hard to find, hard to get to.
Well, that'd be kind of like going to
little
Kelowna.
place.
It's like, tucked in a
Well,
nook. And
maybe,
it's nice,
maybe.
and I don't know. I get it. Garland seemed fluffier and nicer in the original, I will say that.
It did.
When she left the hotel, she went to stay at his parents' house. Like, that was just bad writing. It was just
Like,
awkward.
to get away from him and get some space, she went to his mom's house.
Who you just met. It's so...
Yeah, I seemed to miss a beat there, I think.
There's a bunch of chunks that I had to take off in writing, and even though I still enjoyed watching this movie, and I'll probably watch it again.
That's why we're getting nitpicky. That is a nitpicky detail,
Yeah,
but that's the whole point of that. So why don't we just quickly talk about the writer and the director?
Just quickly?
Just quickly. Okay. The writer here is Jennifer Notes. Jennifer Notes Shapiro.
Jenny Notes.
Some other writing credits include Christmas Under Wraps, A Christmas Treasure, Hats Off to Christmas. The director here is Peter Sullivan. Other directing credits include The Search for Secret Santa, The Case of the Christmas Diamond, and A Royal Christmas on Ice.
That sounds fun.
Our prediction meter.
Why don't we bring up the prediction meter? I think it's changing a little bit here. It was.
I'm falling behind, guys. I'm not doing too well.
Well, it's not about doing well.
I had hope.
I did too,
I had
originally.
high expectations.
I will say that, like, when we first recorded the shorts, I had to redo my footage because mine was all blurry, I think. And in my original, I did say, I think it might be a hit. And then I was like, no, I didn't think the original Christmas Under Wraps was a hit. I have to
Well, you were
change
right.
my mind.
You were
I
right.
was right, I know.
Look, we didn't hate this as we said. I didn't really like it. It was okay. Again, it's, these like mediocre movies, like A Kismet Christmas, the one we just reviewed.
Yeah,
it's just
completely
kinda like,
watchable.
Completely watchable, very easy, very soft, very fluffy, whatever. What you want typically out of a Hallmark movie. But when you see like really good Hallmark movies that have great pacing, great performances, great writing, it's like, oh, I want to see more of those. And they really stand out.
Well,
so then all the other ones just become mediocre.
But a lot of people really liked this movie and
a lot of people loved Kismet Christmas. I know. And the premise
we had
of
different tastes.
The premise was great of Kismet Christmas. We just wanted more of an angle.
I think they bunked it up. I want good overall writing, production, directing,
pacing,
and acting. I know, I want it all. Anyways, let's bring up the Christmas meter, see where you rank it.
I'm going to give A Cozy Christmas in 4 calling birds.
Oh. I'm gonna give A Cozy Christmas in 3 French hens.
Lower. We didn't think it was good.
No.
It was okay. It was just okay, and it really is a shame that you're always going to be comparing it to Christmas Under Wraps.
Yeah, there's no getting away
It's
from that.
really hard to watch it as a standalone movie. If it was just a standalone movie, I probably would have enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I do hope to see Garland again, and maybe they can make something else out of it.
Maybe. I'm open to it.
I'm just not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure this one connected enough to make it worth it. So let's get to the Christmas list.
Yes. Christmas confusion. So I thought yes for this because the secret is still there. It's pretty there throughout the whole movie. Was that a confusion?
Yeah, I guess so. A Christmas party.
Yep. A character with a holiday name. Quite a few. Joy, Faith.
Joy and Faith.
Their last name is Holiday.
Their last name is yeah, that
definitely.
checked off a lot.
Yeah.
Reference to decorating or picking up the perfect tree?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think, we could be wrong about that, but
Yeah.
I don't think I saw that. I mean, there were all these Christmas trees in her room, but
I think
they were already
there was already
decorated.
trees.
Yeah.
There was 2 Christmas trees in her room, and nobody did anything.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything about it.
Yeah. Ice skating. I didn't see that.
No. Santa makes an appearance. I mean, of course.
All throughout the whole movie, really. Frank, right?
I mean, yeah. But he made the appearance at the end as well.
Yes. Character obsessed with Christmas. I'm gonna say the whole town is obsessed with Christmas. It is essentially
I mean,
North
yeah.
Pole.
I'll give that one to Joy at least. That was actually nice at the end where she kind of would take over.
Yeah.
A hot beverage.
Yeah.
All of them.
Horse-drawn sleigh. No.
Hey.
We're not seeing many of these, eh?
Wait, no.
No, it was in the background, I think. But there was no horse.
but
there was no one on it.
What about reindeer-drawn sleigh?
Oh, shoot. I can't believe that went right past us.
Yeah, that's gotta count. Screw it.
Let's say
Give it
yes,
to
for
me.
sure. That's the ultimate.
It's a drawn
the ultimate
sleigh.
horse-drawn sleigh, but reindeer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's
Let's
all.
say yes.
It's all based on.
Let's say yes.
Christmas in the title.
Granted a Christmas wish. I don't think so.
No.
No.
Snowball fight.
No. Caroling. No, I didn't see any caroling.
Christmas magic. Indeed, there
Yes,
was.
just not enough. Mistletoe kiss. No. The kiss in here was great though, and they went right for it.
Yeah.
I
mean,
like that.
they were in a relationship.
Yes, that helps. I know. Yeah.
Real snow. Indeed.
Definitely towards the end, or not towards the end, but like at the 28-minute mark.
Oh yeah. They'll always embellish other scenes, but there was definitely real snow.
It was coming down hard. It
Yeah.
was all in their hair.
Oh my God.
And that's when you can tell that it's real.
That's Garland for you. That was actually one of them.
Yeah. So guys, let us know what you thought of A Cozy Christmas Inn. Let us know where it ranked on the Christmas meter for you.
Yeah, and we'll see you in a few more days for the review of
Jolly Good Christmas.
Yes.
Thanks everyone.
See you next episode.
Bye.
Bye.